Happy Friday. So, some of you have been writing me that you have really loved the last exercise that we did on the channel. So, the last audio, it is an exercise for negative thinking or limiting beliefs that I really personally like, and I think it's really effective. Um, so, guys, when you love an audio, please hit like. It doesn't do anything except let me know that this is the type of content that you guys enjoy, because sometimes I don't know, if you're bored with something, if it's something you're interested in. And usually I will just do audios based on your own recommendations. So some clients do request certain topics, which I love. That's really great when we have that interaction. Or I will just do something that I notice in coachings. So coachings are very useful for me to kind of determine, what you guys are struggling with. But again, everybody is unique. So having said that, I have decided to give you some more techniques for the anxious attachment, because obviously I think that pretty much every single client I ever had was anxiously attached. Um, and I think that anxious attachment is brutal. It's really tough. It is really tough. It is really difficult. And I definitely want to make it easier on you guys, because I know how painful anxious attachment is, and how you never have that peace of mind. Your mind is always overthinking, your mind is always in that danger mode, and that is terrible. So, again, having said that, I really want to emphasize that obviously the techniques I'm sharing are general ones that I use all of them in my coachings, but it will depend on the individual and their situation which one I'm going to use. But you can easily recognize, or you can just try it and see if it works, if you like it, if it resonates. But you can also easily recognize if it would be good for your specific situation, because again, not everything is for everybody, and not everybody will find everything useful. So what people usually do when they do the mistake number one, I think that people do when they do vibrational work, and this is what I have noticed in coachings, because very often clients will try the vibrational work by themselves, and then they will get coaching anyways because they will feel stuck. So the mistake that I have discovered that a lot of them do is that they kind of base their vibrational work or changing their mindset, they kind of base it around the X or the problem they're having at the moment. So it doesn't have to be a person. Some people, they have difficulty finding jobs, or finding friends. It can be a variety of things, or they're having difficulties just with their appearance, and it can be anything. So it's the same. Basically, what I'm going to give you, I'm going to use the example of an ex, but it's basically you can use this for anything. So what people do when they do vibrational work, basically when they try to change their mindset, they really try to change the mindset around that problem only. So whether it's a person, and very often, as you guys know, it will be targeted, right? You will have a target, usually an ex, and then they're gonna be just trying to change the limiting beliefs around that relationship and what's going on in that relationship, and they will really focus on that. And I understand the logic behind it, because clearly you're struggling with a specific person, right? You're struggling with this person, you're not struggling with other people, and you maybe have not struggled with your previous relationships in this way. So, or if it's something else like a job, we will again just base it around career, money, all of that, because this is what we're struggling with. However, what people kind of miss is the fact that these struggles are coming from somewhere else. So basically, they are doing the work on the wrong place. Okay. So when it comes to changing the mindset, it's not that simple. So basically, you need to change the deep seated beliefs about, worthiness. And usually it will be around worthiness, but again, this is a general audio. It's going to be different for everyone. Majority of the people will be struggling with not feeling good enough and not feeling chosen, not feeling worthy. They will try to prove their value, their worth. Basically, when you're anxiously attached, this is kind of what you're trying to do. And this is why you have the reactions the way you have, because you're trying to prove to that person, hey, I am worthy. Hey, I do deserve this. Hey, look at me, So it all comes from way before you even met this person. And you think that this is the person that is making you feel not good enough. And now you have to prove yourself to this person. And you think it's around the person, right? But actually it's not. It is at the moment, of course. You're not experiencing an illusion. Obviously, this is really happening. However, your beliefs, the beliefs that you need to work on, have not started with this person. The person just triggered them, right? The person was just a trigger. And obviously you are attached to this person, anxiously attached. So this is why you give so much importance to the person. Even when you are working on yourself, you are basing it all around this person, because this is your right. This is on a pedestal, not yourself. This person is on a pedestal, and this is why you're just making it all about this person. So you need to change your mindset so you can have this person. But the thing is that your limiting beliefs about yourself and that core wound was made in your childhood. And you don't even need to pinpoint the moment when, because it can be something little. It doesn't have to be anything drastic. Very often it will be something drastic, like people being abandoned by their parents, their fathers leaving, they're never meeting their dads. It can be a bunch of stuff, but very often it will not necessarily be anything massive, anything that would make such a huge impact, because every little thing, basically, when you're a kid, just stays in your subconscious mind, and it just depends how your mind's going to get programmed. But you need to work on that. Basically, you need to discover where things are coming from. So let's start with today's exercise. I'm going to explain to you what you're going to be doing. So, first of all, we're going to use a specific example because it's just easier to explain. But again, not everybody will have this specific situation. So, I want all of you to use your own situation for this. Again, this is a general audio. So this is why we're going to use one example. You can again use this exercise for anything. It doesn't have to be an ex, a partner, a person. Okay. So when your partner doesn't text back, or your ex-partner, doesn't matter. And obviously, if you're anxiously attached and you're feeling that anxiety, oh no, you're in danger mode, right? They haven't texted back. What do I do? So I would like for you to write down the objective facts, objective facts in one column, and then in the next one, you can write the story your mind created. Because, like we said before, your mind creates stories. It pretends to be a prophet. It pretends to know everything, and you believe it, but those are not facts. So, objective fact. What would be the objective fact here if somebody has not texted back? Objective fact you're going to be writing is they haven't replied yet. We don't know if they will or if they won't, at this point. And then in the next column where you write the story your mind created, you're going to put in, they are leaving me, they are never coming back, whatever, your mind is creating, right? So, this little exercise helps you separate anxiety from reality, because anxiety is not reality. And when you're anxiously attached, you will be 100% sure that it is, obviously, because this will seem so real, and all of your fears will seem so real, like they're happening to you, and it's gonna suck. But you're gonna really need to separate anxiety from reality. It's gonna help so much, okay? Just please do it, okay? And then here we go into the thing that I was just describing earlier. So start with a specific fear. Whatever it is, they will never come back or they're going to leave me. Uh, Start with that fear and keep asking, if that were true, what would that mean about me? You know? And then you just keep repeating it until you reach the core belief. So, okay, if that were true, what would that mean about me? So, if they never came back, that would, for example, this is your brain, of course, speaking, that would mean that they never loved me, or I'm unlovable, or nobody wants me, or I'm never chosen, or they picked somebody else, whatever it is for you, right? And then you go over and over until you reach the core belief. So, for example, I'm unlovable. So, unlovable, I'm not chosen, I'm not good enough. Obviously, it can be a variety of things, but that is where you need to go. You need to go to the core belief. That's very important. Okay, and then you can challenge that core belief. I'm not lovable. Really? I'm not lovable. Well, why do I have so many friends that love me? Why did all of my exes love me? Why do my parents love me? Why do my brothers and sisters really adore me? Why do my coworkers love me? If I'm unlovable, why did I get for my birthday a dozen roses from this secret admirer or whatever it is? Just prove your brain they're wrong, because your brain is wrong, 100%. You are lovable, every single person is, but you could feel like you're not. This can be your limiting belief. Or I'm not chosen. Okay, and then you challenge that belief. Oh, I was chosen for this job that I'm doing, right? I was chosen at an interview, a job interview. They chose me. Clearly I am chosen. Or I don't know, when I was in a soccer team or something, I was chosen in the team. I was chosen for this, I was chosen for that. There are so many things you were chosen for, and so many people that have chosen you. I was chosen by my friend to be their best friend, right? I was chosen by, I don't know, my teacher to be their favorite. So many stuff. So prove your brain that they are wrong, because yes, your brain is wrong. Definitely. Okay. Okay. Then this is something that, again, not everybody will maybe like doing, but I think it can be very beneficial, even if it feels silly to you, which, I fully understand why it would, but this is really good, actually. You can imagine a younger version of yourself, obviously, a child, your inner child, because this is where the problem lies, okay? And that inner child is still inside of you and will be forever, obviously, that wounded child. You are that wounded child, right? So you're going to be practicing reparenting this child, okay? And you're going to be the parent, the perfect parent for this child. So you're going to be offering constant reassurance and safety, because this is something that you probably lacked in childhood. And you're going to give that to yourself now, because guess what? Now you are no longer dependent on, parenting, because you're an adult. So your inner child doesn't get it, but You no longer depend on that. You can give that reassurance and safety to yourself. When you were a kid, you could not provide safety to yourself, obviously. You could not have a job, you could not work, you could not have make money, you could not take care of yourself, you could not cook, all those stuff, right? You needed parents. But now you don't need parents, right? You are basically your parent. Think about it. Okay? And then I would really encourage everybody to journal if they're anxiously attached, of course, and if this is something that resonates. Again, it's important what resonates with you. Everybody is different, obviously. So I would suggest for all of you that are still anxiously attached to keep an evidence-based journal, and then in the journal you're gonna keep a log of every single moment when your partner, or your ex-partner, whoever we are doing this for, or somebody else, right, was supportive, or nice to you, or did something nice, and basically you're going to be building a database of security. So this is something that will prove to you that all of the anxiety you're having is not actually true. So it's going to really help with these anxious impulses during your triggers. So when feeling triggered, you would obviously read that journal, and that is something I would highly, highly recommend for you guys. So this type of techniques are some of the things and tools that I use in coaching, and they do work. They do work. They definitely help a lot, and it does take some time for your brain to get used to everything, obviously, and that is perfectly okay and perfectly normal. Please, guys, always be gentle and patient with yourselves. Nothing can change overnight, and that is perfectly normal. But if you want to create change, and I think you do, it's very important to not give up. Obviously, if you're doing a certain technique, just keep persisting, okay? So, let's talk a bit more about texting, because anxiously attached people, they tend to text a lot, don't they? They love to. Oh, this audio is so long. I'm sorry. I'm just seeing that I've been talking for 17 minutes. I apologize, but it's going to be useful for you, so I don't care. It's long. So, anxiously attached people, they love to text. They love to, when they're feeling anxious, they love to send a bunch of texts. They like to bombard people with texts, and they just need that reassurance. They need that reply. They need that validation. Basically, texting is a big part of anxious attachment. So, a little exercise that I want you to do when you're triggered and you want to send that really long paragraph where you're trying to prove your worth and all of that. So I would set a timer for, let's say, 30 or 60 minutes before I send the text. Okay. Or before, it doesn't have to be even a text. Anxiously attached people also like to spy. So before, like, checking social media or online status, last online, whatever it is that you're checking, okay, set a timer. And this basically builds muscle in a way for, basically sitting with that uncertainty without that need for immediate reassurance, which is why you will definitely immediately go to social media, spy, or send texts. So set a timer and do not do it. Whatever it is that you're planning to do, send texts, spy, whatever it is, right? It can be something else as well, obviously. Do not do it for that period of time. Give it some time and wait. Okay? Okay. Then I would love if you could practice one small, it can be really tiny, secure action every single day. Okay? So maybe I don't know, a boundary, or speaking your needs honestly, but basically something that will make you feel secure, but it's just going to be a little step. So, whatever that means for you, again. Okay. And then I definitely want you to do this. This is the best, and it can be really challenging to do this when you're anxiously attached. But please humor me, humor me and do it. So, schedule time alone to do something you enjoy. Just yourself and the thing you enjoy. Whatever this is for you, obviously. Maybe it is a spa day, or I don't know, doing your full makeup, or doing your full skincare routine, or everything shower. I'm just giving examples. Gardening, playing video games. I have no idea. Whatever interest you have. Reading a good book, watching a movie. Um, it can be anything, right? Everybody has different interests, and obviously, I can't just say all of them in this audio, but something that you truly enjoy. Schedule time to do that by yourself. So, what does this do? This helps you to kind of realize that your sense of well being is not necessarily connected with the constant presence and approval of others. That it also, and this will also be very relaxing for your nervous system. Just like doing something you enjoy in peace and quiet by yourself, just turn off your phone, or, don't take your phone if you're going somewhere, turn it off, don't look at it, whatever, right? Don't be on your phone, be at the present moment, and it will really help regulate your nervous system, because your nervous system is really not regulated at the moment, and this is really really good. So guys, I'm just gonna end it here for now because it's a really long audio, but I definitely plan to make more of these in the future, because um, they're useful and they're gonna help you, and you do not want to be anxiously attached, and I don't want you to be, because it's torture. So we want to help you guys. You want to help yourself, and I want to help you guys. And you're going to be doing the techniques. Okay.